Today we're working on solving algebraic equations. We've done solving equations previously in other lessons, but this is a little bit more complicated and has different ways of solving it. So the first easy step that we should do is cross multiply. So by cross multiplying, I want you to do this step, which is 5, use the bracket because the 5 is multiplied by 2x minus 1. Equal to 2 as well multiplied by x minus 1. The reason I'm putting brackets is because the students sometimes forget to multiply the 5 by the second term, which is the minus 1. Same thing with the 2 has to be multiplied by minus 1. So we're going back to expanding brackets, grouping symbols, and that's another lesson done before. So in this case, when you're multiplying 5 by 2x, it gives you 10x. 5 times negative 1 gives you negative 5. On the other side, you have 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times negative 1 gives you negative 2. Now back to solving two-step equations where you collect like terms on one side, pronumerals, and numerals on another side. So in this case, we are actually moving the 2x to the other side, and the negative 5 has to be moved to the other side. And whenever you're moving some terms from one side to the other, you will have to change the sign in front of it. In this case, 10 is still where it is. The 2 is moving to the other side, so it becomes negative 2x. Now, don't forget, negative 2 hasn't been moved anywhere, so the negative in front of it stays. Negative 5 is moving to the other side, it becomes plus 5. So if you notice, the negative 5 has changed to positive, plus 5. The 2x, which had nothing in front of it, this means there was a plus, and it moved to the other side and became negative. Now, simple method of collecting like terms. So 10x take away 2x, which gives you 8x, and negative 2 plus 5 gives you 3. The next step is one-step equation, and we always divide by the number in front of the pronumeral. In this case, we have 8, so we'll have to divide both sides by 8. This will cancel this 8 and will give me x equal to 3 over 8. Cannot simplify it further, so this is the answer for this algebraic equation. We're still solving algebraic equations, but this is another form where you see we have two different denominator, and the 3 has nothing under it, which is, we assume, has 5. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. I'm going to follow a simple way that doesn't confuse the students. The best thing for us here, since x is a pronumeral, has to be moved to the left side. So that way we'll make the equation look like that. X plus 1 over 5 minus x over 2. I'm leaving the negative 3 on the other side. Okay, now we have 5 and 2. In this case, when we had fractions, we need to make common denominator. So the best way here is to multiply this side by 2, top and bottom, and this side by 5. Another important thing to notice here, when I'm multiplying the 2 by this whole term, x plus 1, it's easier to put a bracket. Again, students might forget to multiply the 2 by 1. So I'm going to write it in this form first, over 10 minus 5x over 10 equal to minus 3. It takes you one more step, but it saves you of making a mistake on the long run. So in this case, now we're multiplying the 2 by the x and the 2 by the 1. So now I will get 2x plus 2 over 10 minus 5x over 10 equal to minus 3. Would be nice to put them all under one denominator, so I actually have 2x plus 2 minus 5x over 10 equal to minus 3. Now collecting like terms, as you notice we have the 2x and the minus 5x, which gives me minus 3x plus 2 has nothing to be added to, so 10 equal to negative 3. For this step, the best thing to do is multiply the 10 by 3 to eliminate any fractions, so we'll be left with minus 3x plus 2 equal to negative 30. We all know negative times positive gives me negative. Okay, now it's a simple two-step equation. Again, we need to move the terms that they are alike to one side. In this case, I have numeral, which is 2, has to be moved to the right side, and we'll be left with negative 3x equal to negative 30 minus 2. This gives me minus 3x equal to minus 32. And now we are, the next step, dividing both sides by negative 3. And that cancels, and you're left with x equal to minus 32 over minus 3, which is 32 over 3. You can simplify this fraction into mixed number using the fraction button, and it will give you x, therefore x is equal to 10 and 2/3. So 10. And this is simplifying or solving an algebraic equation of that form. The other way I would solve it, I would think of 5 and 2, they make times them together gives you 10. Why not multiply the whole lot by 10 from left to right? If I say 10, x plus 1 over 5, 10x over 2 minus 30. All I did is multiply the whole thing by 30. Now, if I want to cancel, I would say, okay, 5 goes into 10 twice, so that gives me 2x plus 1 equal 5x minus 30. Now I'll just expand it. So it would give me 2x plus 2 equal 5x minus 30. Collect like terms, you bring the 2x minus 5x, which gives you minus 30 minus 2. That gives you minus 3x minus 32. Divide both sides by negative 3. And this will be x equal 32 divided by 3. Again, x would be written as 10 and 2/3. This is a quicker way of doing it, but might be for the more advanced students to think of it. Another question of solving algebraic equations. We notice we have 4, 8, 4 in the denominator, so we want them all to be 8. I could multiply the first one by 2, top and bottom, and that one by 2, top and bottom. That will leave it with, change it to 2x over 8 equal, we did not change this one, we left it as it is, minus 2 over 8. Having all of them the same at the bottom, so that cancels out. That can be written as 2x equal 3x minus 2. Collect like terms, bring the 3x to this side, to the left side, so 2x minus 3x gives you minus 2, and that gives you minus x equal to minus 2. Therefore, x is equal to 2. Sometimes some algebraic equations might look complicated, but when you know your times table, it does help a lot.